Hey everybody, welcome to 2026 and welcome to Weight Loss for Women Over 40 podcast. I am so excited you are here. I am going into my sixth year with this podcast. I can't believe it's been that long, but I'm really excited because I'm doing things a little bit different this year. Um, I am going to be doing series. So certain amount of weeks. Like I believe the first one is about 6 week series. So we're going to be kind of building on a theme from week to week. And the current series that we're going to kick it off with is Energy Reset After 40. And I think this is an important one for women, especially over 40, because there is this element of like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. And it's funny, as I was creating this podcast today, I'm like, I'm a little tired today. So we're going to dive into that. And the topic again today is fatigue isn't normal after 40, and here's why. So we're going to dive into that. But the series is going to run for about 6 weeks. I'm going to have some guests on. I'm going to be doing things a little bit different, and I hope that you will stick around and check it out and give me feedback. You can always write a review on, especially Apple. It's super helpful if you write it on Apple and you actually write a review that will help this podcast get out to more people in the world. So if you're new here, I want to welcome you to the podcast. I am Nikki T. I'm your host. I have been in this weight loss business since 2002. Started with being a personal trainer. Before that, I was a professional ballet dancer in my 20s. I stopped dancing, I think, around 30. Um, and I worked as a physical therapist assistant. I have all the certifications, health coach, behavioral coach, Zumba, Pilates, yoga. If you want to go check it out, go visit my website at weightlossforwomen over40.net/about, and you can see all the fun things that I have done with my life, like 2 TEDx talks. I did an obstacle course race 12 consecutive times over a course, I believe, of 6 years. So there was two every year, which is so much fun. But my mission really is to have this podcast be eye-opening for those of you that are stuck in dieter's mentality, because I was stuck in dieter's mentality. I actually taught dieter's mentality for years and years and years. I didn't know any better. And around my 40s or late 30s, I decided I was done with food logging. I was done doing this. The whole 1200 calorie logging, grueling workouts, obsessing about food, and just hating my body. So I created a mindset shift, a mindset method that walks you through how to get the body that you want without eliminating all your favorite foods. And I know I get on the phone with people and they're like, are you for real? Like, can I really eat what I want? Yes, you really can eat what you want. And it is in the framework of my method. And I'm telling you, you can go on vacation, you can lose weight. It is all about the mindset. You have to take care of the mindset first. So I've shifted things. So if you go back through my podcast, if you're listening to this on Spotify, I just recently joined Spotify. So you guys have some exclusive ones that I did this past year. But if you go back, you may not see some of my podcasts because I pulled them because I felt like it was too much dieter's mentality. And I don't want things to be any more confusing than the diet industry already makes it. So I pulled them. So that might be why, if you're looking back in the past, you don't see all my podcasts. Um, Also, just as a side note, if you're here, I do not edit my podcast. So there's ums and ahs and all the things, and it's just me showing up, pushing record, and hoping this helps at least one person out there in the world. So, all right, we're going to dive into the topic because I don't want to ramble on too much. So, we're going to be talking about why fatigue isn't normal after 40 and why, right? So, feeling exhausted every day after 40 is really, it's not normal. It's common, absolutely. It's expected, no. Is it inevitable? Absolutely not. I think there's a lot of factors that contribute to why we're exhausted all the time. And I know some of you probably are feeling defensive hearing it. Like, wait a minute, I am tired. I am really tired. I do a lot. I do all this stuff, right? And we've been told by doctors and friends and family and the internet that this just happens when we're over 40. We just kind of slow down and things get a little bit tired. You know, you're busy, you're hormonal, you're getting older. So you quietly lower your expectations of yourself and you stop asking questions and you normalize running on fumes. And if you're in the US, this is a pattern of a societal almost expectation that you need to do more. You need to be operating at a certain level. I was talking about this in the group coaching the other day. And I can't remember if it was the Netherlands or somewhere, but somewhere in Europe, a guy was working for a US company. Long story short, I'm just gonna say in the Netherlands because I don't remember exactly, but in the Netherlands they work from 9 to 5 and that's it. Like their personal time is their personal time. You don't contact them, that kind of thing. And here in the US, you could get contacted at 6 p.m. and be expected to work, or Saturdays be expected to show up. And this guy who was operating on the 9 to 5 in the European country that he lived in, the US boss was like, "Hey, I don't think you're committed to this job." And the dude was like, "This is how we operate in the Netherlands." And he kind of felt bad for the US people that are working like this, that we have to sacrifice our personal time for work. And anyway, the discussion the other night in the group coaching kind of was like, there are places that still do afternoon siestas. In Europe, they take a nap in the afternoon and they don't go to bed till later. It's just interesting how we can be productive, right? But can we be productive without all the extra doing, the US version of running on fumes, right? And here's the other thing, because you're tired and because the standard and expectation I think is set, especially in the US, we feel like it's a personality flaw. Like we shouldn't be tired, right? Or that something is physically wrong with your body. What it is a nervous system pattern. And until you understand that, nothing is going to change. So most women I work with, they don't describe themselves as lazy or unmotivated, quite the opposite. But they say things like, I wake up and I'm tired. I just need coffee to get through the day. By mid-afternoon, I just feel heavy and tired. I'm not depressed, I'm just kind of flat, right? And what they've been taught to do is to push through it, push harder, do more, be more disciplined, optimize, hack, and fix everything so you can be more productive. Energy doesn't come from trying harder, it comes from feeling safe enough to sustain yourself. So after 40, your body stops tolerating chronic pressure the way it used to. Your body has had enough. After running around in your 20s doing God knows what throughout your life, and maybe having babies in your 30s, when 40 hits, you're just kind of trying to survive. You're trying to survive your kids and them having their own opinions and doing their own thing and getting into teen stuff. Maybe your marriage is taking on a different shape. Maybe you're like me and left a marriage, right? And by 50, your life has kind of blurred by, leaving you exhausted, but feeling like, hey, I'm 50, the kids are off at college, or you're an empty nester, or you're trying to rediscover the relationship you had with your significant other. But you feel like this calling of like, I should be doing more. I should have more energy to have this time, right? So let's talk psychology a little bit and not necessarily hormones, because for decades, you've probably lived some version of being over responsible, having really high self expectations, suppressing your emotions, being the strong one, being the reliable one, the one that everyone can come to when they need help. But your nervous system has learned one primary mode. It's to perform, to produce, and to hold it all together. And to hold it all together for everyone. And that works until it doesn't. And after 40, your body stops buffering the cost of that mode. So fatigue starts showing up. And it's a signal, right? It says, I can't keep protecting you from yourself. And instead of listening, most women do the opposite. They shame their exhaustion. They try to override it. Let's just push through, suck it up, buttercup. And they search for fixes instead of looking at the patterns that you're creating. Most women who are exhausted aren't actually low energy. They're chronically braced. Tight jaw, shallow breathing, always anticipating the next thing. That state burns energy faster than any workout ever could, and your body doesn't recover from it with sleep alone because sleep doesn't affix an emotional load that you have. Again, let me say that again. Sleeping does not fix emotional loads. You can rest your body and still exhaust your nervous system daily. That's why naps don't work. That's why weekends don't fix it. And that's why vacations sort of help, but it comes back. The fatigue comes back as soon as you get home and you start your quote unquote normal routine again. So the biggest energy drain after 40 is not the food. Now, granted, there are some components of food that are going to boost you up and then drop you down, like sugar, that kind of thing, the chemicals in our foods, etc. We're going to table that for right now. It's not necessarily exercise either, though exercise can help boost your energy and your hormones. We know your hormones are changing, right? But to what extent are they actually affecting all this? But most of it is self-pressure. The pressure to eat, quote unquote, right, especially if you're in dieter's mentality. The pressure to keep doing, right? Did I do enough? Am I enough? Am I showing up enough? Being consistent, staying on track, and not falling apart. Your body interprets constant monitoring as a threat. Okay. That primitive brain kicks into high gear and starts scanning like, okay, like it's hyper vigilant, right? And when the nervous system, your primitive brain perceives a threat, it starts to conserve energy. So fatigue isn't your body giving up, it's your body saying, I don't trust this environment that we're in anymore. The environment may look fine on the outside, but internally it feels relentless, especially if you're in dieter's mentality, especially if you're in that hamster wheel of I should be eating this, I shouldn't be eating that, I should be working out, all the shoulds, right? The ping pong match in your head. I want cake, but I shouldn't be having it, but I really want the cake. So this is where I'm going to be very blunt. Most fatigue solutions fail because they're rooted in control, right? Track this, track your food, track your workouts, track your sleep. Wear a watch that tracks your sleep at night. Optimize that. Push through any way possible. Keep going. And control, it really does feel productive. But to your nervous system, control equals pressure, which deepens the exhaustion loop. So when women say, I've tried everything and nothing works, I believe them. I believe you have tried everything because you've been trying to override a system that doesn't need overriding. It needs to be retrained. Energy returns when your body feels less managed and more trusted. It doesn't happen overnight and it's not in some big dramatic way, but sustainably. And that looks like reducing internal dialogue that's going on in your head, that ongoing commentary, right? We all have it. Observe it and understand it. Also, letting go of the constant self correction. The why did I just do that? I'm so stupid. I'm a hot mess today. Judging yourself. Creating the moments of non performance in your day. How about we celebrate the nothings? Instead of going for the gold star, celebrate taking a breath, like the boring things, right? And boring, I mean boring that is going to get you to the person that you want to be, the body that you want to have. Stopping the war on your own limits. What are you capping yourself off? This isn't about doing less. It's about demanding less from yourself emotionally. When women do this work, they're always surprised by one thing. They don't become lazy, they become clearer. They become more focused, more decisive, and more alive. Because energy isn't something you earn, it's something that returns when your system isn't feeling like it's under a threat, when your primitive brain can shut off. So your fatigue is not asking for a fix. It's asking for a different relationship with yourself. One without constant evaluation, where pressure is disguised as discipline, that's no longer an option. Where rest isn't earned, where rest is allowed. After 40, your body stops responding to force, not because it's been through 4+ decades of your life, but because it's done being bullied by you, right? You've been bullying yourself for 40 some decades, not 40 decades. If you are 40 decades older, you need to have a talk with me because I want to know your secret. 4 decades or more, right? Think about it. How long have you been bullying yourself? You should have thinner thighs. You shouldn't be eating that. Why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep repeating the same goals over and over every year? Stop bullying yourself. Understand the pattern. And instead of pushing through it, start listening. Your energy will not explode back all at once. It's not like you're going to wake up and be like the Energizer Bunny, but it does quietly come and bring you back to who you are meant to be. So if this episode felt confronting, good. I'm glad. It means that it touched something real. And if it felt relieving, that matters even more. Because the goal of the series is not to hype you up, it's not to rah-rah cheer you and get you all amped up so you do a couple things and then it just fizzles out. It's really here to help you feel safe in your body again. And that's where the real energy begins. So if you like this episode, just wait until next week's episode on morning practices that shift your metabolism. And in the meantime, please go grab your free copy of the Mind and Body Reset ebook. Inside this 80-page juicy guide, you're going to uncover the 5 mindset shifts that quietly determine whether your body is working with you or against you, and why everything you have tried before has never clicked. It's a guide that's going to help you understand what's actually happening inside your body after 40 and how your thoughts, your nervous system, your primitive brain shape your habits and your patterns, and how to create the mental foundation that makes weight loss one step closer and feel a little bit more natural instead of forced. So if you want to grab your free copy, go to Weight Loss for Women over 40 at the end, .net/reset. And you can grab your copy there. If you already have your copy, I would love to know how it's going. Go to Instagram at Weight Loss for Women over 40, and DM me, message me, let me know how it's going. Hit that follow button while you're over there and engage in a lot of the content that I put out over there. So that is all for me today. I cannot wait to continue the series for 2026. I hope you will join me. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode that is coming up. And in the meantime, I will see you over on Instagram. Take care.